Hi guys, Tammy Hustedt here. I wanted to do a video doing the pros and cons of Rebif and pros and cons of Tysabri. I'm currently on Tysabri and I was on Rebif for a couple years, a little over a couple years. But there's a lot of comments and stuff like that on people's videos who do take Tysabri, wondering why they would do such a thing, knowing that you can contract PML, which could possibly kill you, and so forth. And I wanted to put kind of my perspective out into the world and let you know my opinion on it, because unless you're really in that certain state of mind with your MS and so forth to make that decision, it's kind of hard to understand it, I guess. My Rebif injections, that's what I started with back in 2007, and January 8th of 2007, and the Rebif injections started okay because it was smaller doses, but they get into larger doses as you go along. The Rebif injections, for me, in my experience with it, burn and were very painful. I don't know if it's my skin type or what, but I did spend 2 years trying to make them comfortable. So I talked to nurses, different spots, different ways, different depths. I tried hot, cold compresses. I did everything, absolutely everything I could to make them comfortable, and they were awful. I had dark red blotches where the injection was, fever patches. They were sore. Even through a full rotation around my body back to that spot, it was still sore. Very difficult for me to do those injections. I had to have my son and my husband give them to me through an auto injector. It's just a matter of pushing a button, because I would always have it preloaded and everything with my pre-filled syringes, but knowing that the pain was going to be there, I couldn't push that button. So it got to the point where I had to have my husband or my son do it, push that button for me. And it was over 2 years of hell for me. It was very painful. I was always sick that night, flu-like symptoms, fever. The next day I was sick. The only day of the week that I did feel okay was on Sunday, because I would do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I was always sick the day after, so my only break was on Sunday. And to live that way for over 2 years, with the sickness and putting yourself through those injections, I know there's a lot of people out there that can do that and get along with them very well, but not me. I wasn't able to do that. After 2 years of it, I had gotten into such a deep depression and just hated everything. I was in a dark place, and I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't like how I was sick all the time. I didn't. My body was sore from the injections. I was miserable. But the Rebif did do its job. It did give me my legs back, my arms back. I had numbness that started in my toes. My first symptom was facial tics. I had some eye tics, in my cheek, and then I think it was restless legs I had after that. And all that, I mean, I've kind of went through that stuff before, so I didn't really think anything of it. And then my toes started getting numb, the inside of my calf, up the inside of my legs, both legs at the same time. I've always had back problems, lower back problems, bulging disc and so forth, so I didn't think anything of that either. I thought it was just a pinched nerve. Well, it got all the way to the inside of my legs, and I didn't think anything of it. And then my pinkies started getting numb, the next finger over started getting numb, and then so forth and so on. And my hand got numb, and then it went up up my arm on both sides evenly. I didn't think anything of that either, because I was doing something in my closet a couple days prior to that, and I'd actually thrown my neck out. Lo and behold, what are the odds of that? So I thought it was just another pinched nerve. So it wasn't until the numbness hit my stomach, my belly, and I knew that was wrong, because I've never experienced numbness in my belly, no matter what pinched nerve I've had anywhere. So I went to the doctor, and sure enough, I was in an MRI immediately in that appointment, and at the neurologist next morning. So, but the Rebif stopped the numbness. Eventually, I got the numbness to go away. I do have the neck shock if I move my head forward or backward pretty far. I will get my body shocked. I still have that to this day, but it did make it better. The Rebif did when I was on that. So it did what it was supposed to, but living my life that way, I couldn't do it. So the way I look at it, I did go into a relapse with my Rebif, and that's why I went and wanted to try something different. I seen a different neurologist. I was going blind. I ended up developing optic neuritis in both eyes, and so forth. So I did have an extensive conversation with my neurologist and my options, and we both decided that Tysabri would be my best bet. When I was in her office, I completely broke down, and I told her that there's no way that I could live my life with the Rebif anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to be sick anymore. I didn't want to be in pain anymore. And I was also relapsing, and I knew it wasn't working, and I was actually thankful that I was going to be doing something different. She ended up putting me on an antidepressant, which does very well for me. I don't like taking anything, but I take that religiously because it works very well for me. It's called citalopram. It does very well for me. I recommend that also if there's anybody that's struggling with MS and depression. But the way I look at my Tysabri decision was, I can live my life as if I'm dead or wanting to die with the Rebif and sick all the time, or I can actually live my life knowing that I might die And that was my decision. I didn't want to live my life as if I was dead. I wanted to live my life knowing there's a chance I could die. And that's all it took for me. I didn't want to go back to that. Tysabri is wonderful. I got it stopped my relapse with my eyes. I got my eyes back. It did, with everything that went on, it did have a little bit of permanent damage with the optic neuritis, but it's been very well. I've even been able to handle the heat better. With the Rebif, I couldn't, if I was out and got a little bit of heat or sun, I'd be sick for 2 days. But with the Tysabri, I'm able to handle the heat better. I can actually do things outside. I have such a better time with the Tysabri. I only have an infusion once a month. I have the infusion for an hour, and I have to wait there for an hour afterwards. And then the rest of the month I'm free. I don't have to travel with my medication and make sure it's the right temperature, and that was a pain in the butt with the Rebif, but because I travel all the time. The Tysabri is wonderful for me. Very, very wonderful. I actually have one on Tuesday coming up, so I'm on Tysabri right now, and I've been on Tysabri for a couple years, but I did go through a relapse and was having problems. I just posted a bunch of videos about my Acthar gel that I was taking because I'm not able to take steroids, but I was losing my arms, some strength in my arms. My arms were sore, weak, and my eyes were getting bad, so I knew I was going in the relapse, but that's okay. I mean, I relapsed 2 years after my Rebif, 2 years after starting my Tysabri. I'm very lucky with where I'm at with my MS. I'm very healthy and thankful for that. I could be a lot worse than what I am. But that was my ultimate decision with the Tysabri, to live my life. So I know that everybody that has Tysabri, it's in the touch program. You have to be a part of that with your injections or your infusions, and the PML risks are just beat into you every single time you go to get your infusion, and you have to cut down a forest to have all the paperwork done before you even start your infusions, and to sign, all that stuff for the PML risks before the infusions start. So you're very well aware of your risks beforehand, and I know my risks. I know I could possibly die. I know I could get PML, but I would rather live my life and take that risk. So that was my decision, and that's just me, though. So I mean, do your research and make your own with the way your lifestyle is, and so forth. Customize it to you. So, but anyway, hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll answer them. Comments, give me a thumbs up. I'll probably post some more videos with some other stuff too with my MS. I find it kind of therapeutic almost to talk about the MS, because really when people ask you how you doing, I mean, all they want to hear is really that you're doing okay. They don't understand the details. I mean, they love you. They want to know that you're doing okay, but they don't understand the details of it. They don't know the depth of everything, and so I just kind of say I'm doing great, and it's kind of nice to get it out there verbally and have this amongst other people that have it and get their opinions too. So, but anyway, I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks.